Okay, we got 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Pretty much thawed all the way through. So the first step in the Viking grilled Chickeparmesammichan is the breaded, fried chicken cutlets that the dish is based around. So we are going to butterfly and tenderize both of our chicken breasts. How we do this is we take a very sharp knife. Obviously we've washed our hands first. And we are going to just gently make sure you're using sharp knives, remember. Just going to butterfly that out like so. If it's not perfect, who cares? It's going to be amazing anyway. So that is one flat note chicken breast. Yeah. It's right here. So we're going to cut 95% of the way through. We're going to leave a little bit attached so we can just butterfly them open. Like so. Usually you'll have a pretty close to a perfect heart shape. Now we're going to take our mallet and we're just going to flatten out and tenderize the meat. As the meat tenderizes and the fibers break apart, it's going to want to spread just a little bit more, so go ahead and let it do that. We'll do it to our other one as well. So what we're actually making, this, it's like a preemptive dish on its own. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that this is well on the way to making chicken schnitzel. There's chicken schnitzel, there's pork schnitzel, there's veal schnitzel, and you take a nice piece of meat as we've done, and you mash it out, and you beat it down, and flatten it out, and then you bread it, and you fry it in a shallow pan with a little bit of oil in it, both sides, and that's basically that dish completed. I ate that quite a bit growing up, if I remember correctly. And again, this is just my take on chicken parmesan meets a Viking-sized giant grilled cheese. And we've named it Viking grilled Chickeparmesammichan. We've named it something that's very difficult to say because it's fun to say things in the kitchen. Grilled Chickeparmesammichan. We got it. All right, so here's our chicken breasts. Okay, they're pretty thinned out now. Now we are going to crack 2 eggs into a bowl. Make our simple egg wash, right? It's going to be our binding ingredient that is going to let the breadcrumbs and the flour. We're going to do a double dip with egg wash flour, egg wash breadcrumbs, and then into some oil that's preheated. And that egg is going to act as a binder. First to adhere the flour to the chicken, and then to adhere the breadcrumbs to the flour. Okay, so I'm going to get a nonstick pan heating on medium heat, which is 5 out of 10. That going for a few minutes before we get started. And we've got 2 eggs in the bowl. We'll take a little bit of milk, not much. And give that a little whisk. And we're just looking for even consistency. A nice shade of yellow all the way across. No pockets of dark yolk or unmixed material. So there's that. Okay. That's heating up. So we're going to take a shallow but wide bowl, and we are going to put our light, thin layer of flour in that bowl. We've just got regular great value all-purpose flour. I don't know how much that costs. It's not that expensive, a couple bucks, but it lasts so long unless you use flour all the time. We don't really use flour all the time. There's other things you can use. You have to switch it up here and there. Get creative with things, you know, try new stuff. Attempt something, fail, learn, attempt it again, succeed. Attempt it a third time, become great at it. Feels good. Okay, so we got a little bit of flour. We've got our egg wash. So now I'm going to get some coconut oil, raw virgin coconut oil, melting. And because I don't have a lot of coconut oil, I'm also going to add some imperial margarine to the coconut oil. And I wasn't really prepared. And I didn't want to go out today to buy any kind of oil or anything like that. So we'll just use the rest of that. Get that going, and we're going to... It's a coconut oil margarine collaboration this evening. Okay. So these are going to melt down. It's going to be a nice little shallow layer of oil. And because we're leaving it on the medium heat for several minutes before we're getting started, it'll come up to a good temperature. And there's just no real reason to feel like you have to deep fry it on high, like French fries or something like that, where you would put it in a pot. You just don't have to do it. You could do it that way. No harm in doing it that way. It'll cook a lot faster, but I think you'll find that this is just a safe, easy way to do it, and keep the vibe and the atmosphere in the kitchen nice and chill, safe, easy to manage with your time and your abilities. Okay, so chicken, egg wash, flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs. So we need something to put the breadcrumbs in. And we'll just do this here. We got this bowl. Seasoned breadcrumbs. Great value seasoned breadcrumbs. So there's a little bit of Italian seasoning, probably parsley. It might only be parsley, actually. Let's see. Oil, salt, yeast, whey, soy flour. I'm not seeing anything green. Dehydrated parsley flakes. Garlic powder. Seasoning. Onion powder. Oregano. That's basically it's all the little bits that you see in here. People who can't have garlic. Be conscious when you're cooking for other people to look at that. Because if I had my soon-to-be mother-in-law over here and I was making this dish, I purposely went out of my way not to put garlic in this dish so that I could replicate this for her in the near future. And I was just shocked to shit to read that, because that would have screwed up my entire planning for everything. I would have had to get plain breadcrumbs. So just make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of time too to peruse everything and make sure that you're not sending anybody to the hospital. It can happen very simply, and it's usually just ignorance or negligence, you know. So I'm glad I did that. Okay, so we got our steel bowl. I'm gonna put some of these seasoned breadcrumbs in there. Not much, you know, maybe like a quarter of the container so far. And we will set that up in the line. So it's going to go chicken, egg wash, flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs into the pan. And spatter, be careful. All right. So we're going to do a simple egg wash. And then we're going to throw it into some flour. Doesn't have to be crazy coated in the flour. We're going to pack in the egg wash. And then breadcrumbs. Nicely breaded, right? Do it the safe way. We're going to lay away. So if it splatters or pushes any or throws any oil, it's going away from us. Our second cutlet. We're going to drench that in the egg wash. We're going to let it flirt with the flour a little bit. Just dance around. Get kind of coated. It doesn't have to be crazy. And we're going to go back in the egg wash. We're going to coat it, and then we're coming to the breadcrumbs, and we're going to make sure that it's nicely coated. And if you're running low on the breadcrumbs at this point, don't be afraid to grab that container and pour them right on top. So that is our second cutlet, breaded. We want to lay away. So remember, we've got our heat on 5. That's 5 out of 10. That's medium heat. We've got coconut oil and imperial margarine mixed together. And so that is going, so I'm going to turn that up to a 5.5. And I'm going to say 10 minutes from now. It's 5:23 right now. I'm going to check back in at 5:33. And I probably, at that point, will have flipped it once. And I'm ready to take it off and start the next chapter of this journey towards the Viking grilled Chickeparmesammichan. All right, and that is what it looks like at about 6 minutes. Now, because that chicken was mounted so thin, we know that it's cooked all the way through with relative ease, and with a clock that only takes a couple minutes to be done from start to finish. All right, we've got our mozzarella grated up. I think it's about, that's one of those long bricks, like about that long. So it's about half a brick. And we've got some Chickeparmesammichan, just the cheapest stuff. I think it's like $7. Not that cheap. But it tastes good. Okay. We've got 1 can of diced tomatoes. I'm sure that you could just use pasta sauce. I'm going for a little bit less salt. And I didn't, that's not why I got the light blue, no salt added. That was a mistake. But it is less salty. Because in pasta sauces they add a lot of sodium. To get the robust nature of the simple ingredients in pasta sauce to really jump out altogether. That's what salt does. That's its job. So we went to the local Italian bakery just up the street. First time I even knew it was there. And we got this big, beautiful loaf of bread. I don't know what it's called or what kind it is. It was $2. The bakery's amazing. We went to Walmart and went grocery shopping the other day, and we got a bag of 6 of these buns. Little mini sub bun things. For $4.98. A bag of 6 of them. The same bakery sells that same bag of Big Fresh Daily for a toonie. So I'm going there for my bread needs from now on. I wish I knew what the place was called. But if you got a local Italian, Portuguese, Polish bakery, Ukrainian bakery, whatever, that's what I'm familiar with. That's why I'm recommending it. I don't have any familiarity with any other ones, so I cannot shout them out or big them up. But here's the idea. So, We are calling them Viking grilled Chickeparmesammichan because we are doing a chicken parmesan with our beautiful breaded cutlets of chicken. I'm going to make one giant serving with those cutlets inside. And this will be a giant grilled cheese sandwich. So, I have to figure out how to... I don't know if it's hollow inside. This is a brand new creation for me. So, I think the first thing that I'm going to do, because I kind of like the little depression here, if I just cut it in half, like I said before, right on the equator, if I just cut it right here and flip that over, hopefully it's a solid loaf inside and there's no air bubbles. And then I can just margarine the inside wall, which will be the bottom. And then I can use this depression here to put the chicken and the cheese and just the tiniest bit of the diced tomatoes. I don't want to overdo it with the diced tomatoes. I'm going to try to use them more as a sauce to dip into. Because I really think it'll get a little too soupy in there once the tomatoes start to release their water and the grease for the cheese. But we'll see. All right, maybe it won't work at all. And it was fun trying, having a good time. And it is January 1st, 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. Fingers crossed. Let's do it. We're going to go about halfway up. Oh, and this is a bread knife. There's different variations, usually undulations, which is waves in the blade, or very jagged teeth in large frequency of teeth. And that is so that you don't have to squish the bread. For instance, if I was to use this knife here, now I keep a sharp blade on all my knives, so I probably actually could, as long as I got through the crust first. But you're going to have to squish down your bread. You ruin the integrity of the bread. So always use a bread knife if you can to cut bread. And when you want to slice a tomato, if you got a beefsteak tomato and you want to make nice thin slices, thick slices, what have you, the bread knife is actually the perfect knife to slice into a tomato. Because you can slice from the beginning to the end with perfect slices. You don't have to squish. You don't have to tear. Little kitchen tip right there for you. All right, halfway down, I'm going to make the first slice. Make sure you're even. And then a little bit of pressure, downward pressure, as I'm slicing through, all the way back, trying to keep it even. And what we have, I'm not sure. We might be able to get away with it. Okay, so it is fleshy on the inside. There is some stuff there, and we should be able to margarine that. And that's our outer layer. Now this one though, so that got torn up quite a bit. So faster with the sawing and less pressure going down would result in a much more uniform layer. And probably a lot more success when it comes to the aesthetics of it, but we'll wait till the end to see that. So now I've got this flying saucer with a protruding top or bottom, depending how you look at it. So, just so I can get two matching pieces, I know it's a little bit of a waste, but maybe I'll use it for something else. We're going to take our one side, we're going to match that up, see the furthest point, the tallest point that goes to. I'm going to eyeball it, and I got that right there. So now, I'm just going to try to go straight through, and I learned from that piece that I need to saw fast and little pressure going down, and I'll probably have a much smoother piece to apply either margarine or the internal ingredients, and I was right about that. So when you saw fast, look how beautiful and smooth that is. When you add too much downward pressure, that's the chunkiness that you get. We can still use that. We're still going to. It's nice bread.
Okay.
So we take a little margarine.
Okay, schedule is processing.
And so I've decided that because we have this smooth side here, we're going to use this as one of our face down cooked sides of our grilled chicken parmesan sandwich. Now remember, anywhere that this margarine touches that is flat is going to cook to a lovely golden brown, and that is the desired finished product. We're going to set our heat to a low-medium heat. Out of 10, I would say that's like 4 3/4, just a tick under the 5, under halfway. So that's going to heat up. Okay, so this is basically a grilled cheese, but a chicken parmesan. So the internal components of this grilled cheese have to be very chicken parmesan-esque. And I've never made chicken parmesan before, but I'm going to put a thin layer here. Okay, thin layer of cheese all the way through and across. We're going to take the parmesan, which is also going to melt in the heat, and when this cheese goes liquidy from its melting, it's going to all melt together. So then we're going to put we need a little bit of diced tomato at this point. So we've got diced tomato.
It's you! Hey. Hey. How you doing, buddy? I'm doing good. I'm so happy to see you. I'm happy to see you.
Okay, now that we've got some sauce and some liquid in there, we're gonna have to reapply the cheese just a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're trying to save ourselves the headache and aggravation and disappointment of when we go to try to flip this, it falling apart and losing its aesthetical value, the beautiful way that it looks. Okay, so now we're going to put chicken cutlets and try to get this. You got to split them up. Now look at that perfectly cooked chicken, right? As I told you, only takes a couple minutes when you got it that bang that thin. Okay, now you don't want anything overlapping. So we actually may have a little bit too much chicken for this thing.
Yeah, kind of pop your head too, just give it more energy. Yeah, okay, that's good. Was there anything special in the video that you want me to teach you?
What do you think is going up that atomic sprout?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic, man. So simple. So classy. So easy. Chicken schnitzel. Beautiful. All right, so we got mozzarella, Parmesan, diced tomato, mozzarella,
What are you gonna do?
Chicken schnitzel,
What are you gonna do
Parmesan.
after all this is over?
Something like this,
mozzarella,
Go to Jupiter, Florida. Town called Jupiter, there's a small little fishing town. It's on the Indian River, opens up the big estuary.
diced tomato,
It's the biggest estuary in America. You get a boat, just live a good life. Run charters and take it school fishing. You in there, Florida? Look. You go there?
Parmesan. Soak up some of that tomato juice. Mozzarella.
You know, certain things it takes years to learn, like how to fall without hurting yourself. But man, stuff just comes with time. As long as you don't do the same move, it takes time. You don't do the same move,
Okay.
the same bounce.
Wish me luck. So we've got this pan heated to 4.75 out of 10. Tick under 5. We've got our
For real.
Chickeparmesammichan constructed. Now we're going in. Okay. Cooking right away. Now we're going to throw the top on, right? We got a nice layer of cheese on both sides, so it should take. When we flip it, it might be a little tough. I'm excited and I'm nervous. Way more excited than nervous. Hungry. Shit, this is gonna be tough. I don't want it to burn. It's not burning. Ah, I've got an idea. We got a cast iron pan too. So when I'm ready, I'm just gonna stack it, flip it, and continue to cook it. While that's going, we got a non-stick pan over here heating up at medium-high heat. We're going to put some margarine in there. And that is going to be for our sauteed garlic, green beans, and onions. Okay, let's just see how this is going. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, now, we're going to take this. Alright. We're going to take this. And we're going to try our best not to screw this up. Oh, yeah. I would like to say that worked. That looks like a grilled cheese to me. I would have liked to have kept that going in that pan, but that's alright. So now that, unfortunately this pan is cold, so that butter's got to melt. But that seems like it's going to work, maybe. Alright, so we're going to take a little margarine. Alright. Scoop of margarine. Get that in the already heating up pan. And you can go through and you can not care about the little petiole stem of the green beans. Just throw them all in there. I'm just going to snap them as I go. I'm getting a little flustered for time. Nobody's perfect. Least of all me. But my timing's going okay. It does not take long to saute the green beans and an onion. And we're just going to julienne the onions, which means just slice them down once. I'll show you that in a second.
I care
So we've got butter or margarine. We've got 2 handfuls of green beans. We've snapped off the petiole stem. Very important, please do not overcook your green beans. When they are a bright, vibrant, I don't even know, green, they're done. A little al dente, they still have a little bit of that raw crisp to them. When they go olive green or like a army camouflage green, they're way overcooked. You want to keep your vegetables, even after cooking them, you want to keep their colors vibrant. That's how you know that they still retain a lot of their nutrient factor. So now, instead of dicing the onions like I do going this way, I'm just going to cut them once and make little half moons out of them. And I believe that method is called julienne. Real simple, get them in there. Get them in. Now that's done. Now this pan should be getting hot, so we're gonna have to check our, I would say it's just over halfway done. So we should time that out pretty good. It looks nice. All right, now because we've got margarine or butter in this pan sauteing the vegetables, we are safe to put in our minced garlic. And we've got a medium heat, so we're not scorching anything, but we can rest assured that the garlic will not burn. When you saute or fry vegetables in oils and you add minced garlic, it burns the garlic, it turns black, it's very bitter to the taste, and you lose most of, if not all, your medicinally beneficial properties of the garlic as well. But like I said, we're not going overboard. We are just sauteing to an al dente. And already, I mean, I can see how beautiful the fresh, bursting green color is, just like screaming through each of these green beans with just a little bit of heat, a little bit of margarine. Does not take long. Once you see them starting to go that army camouflage dark olive green color, that's your final point of no return. You should take them off at that moment. There's no real harm in cooking them way overboard. You're still getting nutrients, but I'm telling you, the difference between, we're talking about exponentials of like 10. So if I overcook these green beans and I overcook this garlic, I'm losing 10 times the amount of vitamins and nutrients than if I just made them al dente. And they're so crispy and crunchy and full of flavor, like just absolutely robust in every way. You would think that that's the ideal point at which to eat your vegetables. If the descriptive word that you come up with is the word robust, like that says a lot, right? So anyway, that's how I do it. That's how I urge you to do it. It's just a very tasty, very healthy way to consume all the stuff that we need to. Why not make it fun and delicious? Know what I mean? All right, this grilled chicken parmesammichan is probably done. So now I'm going to go back to my original pan, and so I can flip that again. Since this pan is now cooled off, I'm going to turn the heat off because I think it's probably done. And I burned it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sometimes we make mistakes. It's not all that bad. But I got to talking and I was talking too much. So it happens. But it's still going to be delicious. And there's a little trick. It's just like if you burn your toast. You just take a knife and you can scrape away that burn. That's very minimal. Watch, I'll do it here right in front of you. We don't need Photoshop. Just need the back of a knife. See? The presentation gets a little better. And we actually do quite enjoy a little bit of char on everything in this house. So for us, that's That's a nice treat to have a little bit of scorched bread there, just a little bit. All right, so now we're at a point where the onions are just about translucent. Translucent, of course, meaning not totally see-through, but you can see through the material, whereas the solid white of the onion, you couldn't see it before cooking for a few minutes. Now you can see some shades of colors that are existing behind the onion without actually seeing what's behind the onion. That's translucency. And that is where we would like to get our onions. So we're done. And we're going to take those off the heat so they stop cooking. Let you see. Lovely. And because we cook them in margarine, they have a beautiful buttery flavor, right? So there's no need to add any more butter to that. So now all that's left is cutting and plating. We'll see you in a minute. All right, so here is our grilled chicken parmesammichan. New creation. Chicken parmesan on a grilled cheese sandwich. On a Viking giant loaf of bread. It really looks delicious. Smells amazing. Theo, what do you want? Do you want grilled chicken parmesammichan? Sí, bueno.